This video is brought to you by Battle Tested Film Gear for all your tips, tricks, tutorials, and tools. Check us out, battletestedfilmgear.com. Test 1, 2, there we go. Hey everybody, so I just did this as a video response already once, or recorded this, and apparently my phone had died halfway through, so we're switching over to the GH3. I just got back from a shoot, actually 2 shoots. We had a corporate interview in the morning, and then we went over and did some camera tests and a little bit of pre-light for the feature that we're starting on Monday. I'll have to fill you in on that. We were supposed to start on this Monday a couple days ago, but the main talent got sick, and we had an issue with set. So anyway, I've been meaning to fill you guys in on that and get you kind of caught up to speed, but I've been working hard, hammering nails, and doing things like that. So. Anyway, I want to continue the answer to the question about the living room, scary, dark lighting scene question, reply, comments to the tutorial. So I was talking about using the Kino flows and the 1200 and things like that, and how you'd have plenty of light, I think, for a wide shot. They came back and said, okay, this is awesome. Here's the tools I have. So that really gives us some insight about what maybe my initial, just off the top of my head, how I would walk in and set it up and tweak from there. So what I would do is, they said they have a 575, which is awesome, which is I'm guessing it's the open face for now. Sorry, long day. PAR. So it's the 575 HDMI PAR, and then by LTM probably. So they have some lenses to throw in front of it, I'm guessing. And they have some Kinos to work with. I'm guessing 4-bank 4-footers. So you have independent tubes and plenty of light output for that. So in a living room, and I'm just going to, I'll look at my living room for a second. You have a couple options for windows. So if I was going to come and set this up as kind of a scary, they also have a fogger, so mist is coming into the room, which will give some really cool volumetric, whatever that's called, light. You'll see the rays if you have strong enough hard light, which is awesome. So I don't know what the blocking is, I don't think like that, but what I'd say is, okay, let's start by putting the 575 pardon me, on a wide or a medium lens. Yeah, it's not a 1200, it doesn't have quite as much punch, but depending on the space, you should have plenty of, it should work kind of throwing some light rays in to give motivation to the light bouncing around inside the room. Now, I forgot to mention motivated light in the first comment, the first reply I did. Motivated light, I love doing motivated light. I don't like kind of making up light out of nowhere. Sometimes you have to do it, but, and I've seen some really major DPs just kind of do it. Depends on the piece, depends on the project you're working on, depends on what the scene calls for. But most often than not, I like to motivate stuff. So in this scary scene, there's no motivated light, there's no practicals inside giving light to anything, which is kind of similar to what we were doing in the tutorial that I did years ago. And when I was doing the tutorials, I was going for kind of a more traditional key fill rim. I wanted to see that nice rim. It kind of adds to the edginess of the piece of what we were going for. So anyway, back to the question at hand. I would stick a 575 on a medium or wide lens through one of these windows, depending on which window you want to be seeing, to show motivation of direction of light in the room. So that's where our moonlight's coming in. And then what I would do is I would take the Kinos and I would do a couple things. At first, I would supplement where that 575 is coming in. If there's not enough volume coming from that light just to illuminate your talent or the room, I would stick a Kino coming from that same direction, so maybe above the actor or mounted kind of towards the ceiling, shooting down the same direction as the 575 to give a little more ambient to the space. So you fill up the corners a little bit so you can kind of see things. It doesn't punch really hard like a shaped light. It'll just bring everything up volume-wise. And on the Orcs film, I remember for a lot of those kind of ambient lights, I only used like 1 or 2 tubes on low, just to bring up a little bit what the 1200 wasn't doing. And then the other thing I would do is take another Kino, and then I would do a fill on your actor, just so you can see their faces, or an edge, depending on what it calls for. Maybe you don't want to see a fill. You may want to just be nice and dark. It just depends on what the director wants, what the look's going to be like. Another thing, but if you do like what the 575 is doing coming through the window, and you don't want to have any more directional light like that, I feel like I'm leaning this way, sorry guys. What you can do is just to bring, again, ambient up in the whole room so you can see into the very dark corners. If it's not spreading enough, you can take your Kino and put it right by camera and shoot it up into the ceiling. and play with the volume on those lights. How many tubes, high or low, etc., etc. So in overview, 575 through the window. If the medium's not punchy enough, you're not seeing some cool rays through that window, I would stick a medium lens on there. And then you can play with some diffusion in front of the window to see. Anytime you do that, you're going to start losing your direction of the light. And another thing you can do, instead of going straight into the window, you can rake it. So instead of coming straight in and having the light rays come right across the room, you can angle it, and that'll help with the size of your light, because I'm probably not in focus, am I? That's probably been frustrating this whole time. Am I in focus? I am in focus now. You can angle it off to the left or the right to kind of give some shape to that light as it comes in, and it rakes across the window, and it's not so prevalent that it's a small fixture shooting straight in one kind of beam of light into the window. So you can angle it to one side or the other, bring the Kino in above the window, facing the same way to bring in kind of a little more direction, and the other Kino you can act as a rim for your talent to bring a hard edge. I always love having a hard edge on kind of scary look nighttimey stuff. Or just shoot into the ceiling to bring up the ambient of the whole space so you can see everything that you want to see. Anyway, hope that answers some questions or gives some ideas. Keep the questions coming. The discussion's an awesome thing. And tomorrow I'll post some stuff about our mystery box that we've been working on and the film we're starting on Monday. So thanks for your thoughts and questions. Take care.